A very pleasant good afternoon and welcome. We're bringing to you some breaking news that we're going to go live to on the streets, Main Street. We're getting word that the GPL workers are protesting, so we're coming to you this afternoon at this strange hour, bringing you this information. We're going to be joining Andrew Weeks on the road, bringing you that breaking information. My name is Randolph Critchell. We're happy, of course, to continue to bring you the information happening in and around Georgetown and in Guyana, so to speak. Let us just go straight to what is happening there on the road. GPL workers are protesting. Let's see if we can bring that in for you. Andrew, you're live. We're live.
Thank you very much, Randy. Good afternoon, everyone. We are here on Main Street, just outside of GPL, where a protest is taking place. We have a number of workers outside here at GPL calling for more wages, more pay. They have here support the workers' rights by rounding a pound. What's the word you have there? Proud support of workers' rights, she says they have there. Cut top management incentives and allowances and give workers what they ask for. And that is what's going on out here um, with the protesters, Randy. Another day of protest here in Ghana for workers' rights. Another day of workers' rights. Another day of they're calling for better wages. I'm gonna try and get a word from one of the protesters. Sir, we are live. Tell us exactly why you're out here this morning, this afternoon.
Well, I'm out here to press the cause that the rights of workers be respected in Guyana. We are represented by a union who bargained for us. There is an agreement within management of this company, GPL, and the bargaining body, the union. But to date, this new management have not been respecting the union in terms of the bargaining. We have a collective bargain agreement, and it has been violated. It has been violated.
Yes.
So we are calling upon management to respect the bargaining agreement that they have with the union, so that workers' rights can be represented.
And how much pay are you calling for?
We are calling for at least 8%. According to my understanding, directors have been given 12%, but nothing to the workers. So we are asking for at least 8%.
How long are you going to keep up this protest? How long
As
is this
long
going to
as
be?
it's possible.
Thank you, sir. We have another young man here who is one of the organizers of the protest. Sir, tell us the name and why are you out here?
I am from the Main Street section of the union. I'm the chairman of the secretary of the board, the
Mhm.
Main Street section.
Mhm.
We have gotten word that executive management, which is the heads of the union, had a meeting Saturday, and they have come to a consensus to have inter-county protests. So this is the first of a series of protests that will follow throughout GPL's locations across Guyana.
Mhm.
And fundamentally, we're protesting some of the things that are affecting us, which includes our increase in salary. It has been owed to us. It is something that we bargained for, and it is something that we look forward to. However, what we have seen in is that the company has decided to do more for themselves and less for their staff, whereas directors are being paid increasing their salaries automatic without any you know negotiations or fight, as we would want to say. And that percentage is being set to be somewhere around 12%. We are also seeing the company purchasing new vehicles for set directors who are not, um, in some opinions, don't need a vehicle. Some of them already have vehicles, but they're driving new sports model vehicles. And these things are affecting the staff because we're told one story, and that story is you don't have money, you can't afford increases, and yet you're doing opposite. You're spending more money, on things that are not even related to the pandemic, such as the purchase of a new vehicle. And it is time that we talk about these issues and that we have the media being the fourth estate do what is called investigative journalism. Don't
Mhm.
take it from me. Don't take it from me. Go ahead, seek meetings with the very people, investigate the claims that are made. People have on their placards, directors are being paid 12% automatic increases in their salaries. If I were you, I would have immediately gone over there and asked to speak with some of them because several of them sit right in that building. You can investigate those claims. We're saying that they're driving sports model vehicles. Well, you don't really have to do much investigation. It's parked right across there. So you can decide for yourselves how you want the story to be told. But this is our truth, and we need to see action.
Now, I know that you would have been seeing other protests across the country. Recently, the sugar workers, they have been calling for an increase in salary. And you would have seen the vice president um, gave them, I think it's over 200 something $1 million to their cry. Um, you're calling for the same thing, or
We
even
are
more.
equally important as the sugar workers. We have been affected, and we are all Guyanese. And I will support the sugar workers in their strike. And likewise, I would like for them to support us in our strike. And the same level of urgency that is given to them, we would appreciate if the Vice President, His Excellency, and others who are in charge can come on board and give us that same level of urgency into our cry. GPL employs little under 2,000 people. It wouldn't be very difficult to compensate them. It's needed.
All right, all right. So thank you very much. How long are you going to keep this strike? I know this strike, this protest rather, is going to be something. Are you going to have it every midday at 12 o'clock? Are you going to have it, you know, sporadically? You're just going to pop up anywhere?
Well, you see, if we tell you all the secrets, we can't keep any.
Okay.
So let's keep that one a secret. But we
Hmm.
will definitely keep in contact with the media as it relates to how we will strike it. But it's not the first,
Hmm.
it's a series.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Andrew Weeks. If you're still with us there, of course, persons, if you're now joining us, we're bringing to you the scenes out there at the main street as the GPL workers, the protest, they take protest action out there. Folks, we're getting information, we're getting word. Let's see if we join Andrew. Andrew,
Yes,
you with
that's what's
us?
happening outside here. GPL, the management have been given the unction to award themselves super salaries and only want to give the workers 5%. The workers are calling
Andrew,
for 8% or more. And as the secretary was telling us from the union, that they're buying fancy cars. Look at this Kia out here, right outside of GPL here. They're buying fancy cars and they are awarding themselves super salaries while the workers are not getting anything. And so that is what's happening out here. Randy, hope that
Andrew, if I can share
the
with you some
management will
information,
come
we
and
get
tell us something. Have a press conference
Andrew.
sometime soon to explain to us exactly, how they intend to solve this matter, because we think that this matter will not go down lightly. They're going to be protesting as long as possible until they get what is due to them. Randy?
All right, Andrew, thank you for that. If I can just share with you, Andrew, some information reaching us in the studio here. Um, these protesting GPL staffers are claiming that GPL chairman Maurice Gajadar has approved purchase of brand new Kia vehicles for the directors. And these vehicles were basically effectively purchased from him as he's a representative of the Kia Motors Guyana company. So this is self-dealing. You are the director of GPL, and you are also a representative for Kia Motors in Guyana, and you're approving these purchases. in in the midst of a situation where the workers are asking for an increase, you are basically dealing from one company into the pockets of another company that you have association with. So these are the claims being made, and these are why you're seeing this protest action, Andrew. I don't know if Andrew is hearing us, but folks, we are following what is happening there outside of GPL as the workers continue to protest. They continue to, and as one worker put it quite smartly there, that they support the protest action by the sugar workers, and they are no less important than those sugar workers. And they hope that this matter, their protests and their cries, are met with the same sort of urgency and the same sort of alacrity that the sugar workers' cries were. Given, of course, that of course we know the situation with sugar in Guyana. We know that it is basically a dead industry that has not produced, has not turned a profit in how many years. But we continue to see the government, the SPPP government, continue to pump money into Gaisuko. Now we're wondering, of course, those workers out there protesting at GPL are wondering what will be the outcome of their cries. Right. Just for information's sake, some other information coming. Maurice Gajadar is, of course, the chairman. The board of directors of GPL includes Maurice Gajadar, who's the chairman, Marcel Gaskin, Nicholas Boyer, Alfred King, right? Sixto Edwards, Mahendra Sharma, Kamal Ramnath, Godfrey Washington, and Shabir Hussein. These are the board members of the Guyana Power and Light Company, of course, headed by the chairman Maurice Gajadar, who is the one fingered in this um, action of approving these purchases of these vehicles. And of course, the workers out there claiming this is what the workers said, that they're giving automatic increases, and the workers are calling for at least 8% increase in their salary. We continue to follow this story, folks. This comes amidst all of what has been happening in the sister sector, Guy Oil, as we've been covering extensively what has been happening there in Guy Oil with the continued corruption, kickback schemes. Guy Oil, of course, in turmoil right now. And one interesting thing to note that the developments on that Guy Oil story, the importer was arrested on suspected cybercrime, breaking the Cybercrime Act. His vessel was seized with the oil that GPL had an agreement for him to bring in. Sorry, not GPL, Guy Oil. And I'm saying GPL because this oil was said to be for GPL. So, some emergency shipment. So we continue to track the corruption. As I mentioned in many programs before, it seems to be the economics of corruption that the PPP are engaged in. But this is what we see, more protest action today out there. I don't know if Andrew Weeks is still with us, and we have any other information coming from that site there outside of GPL. Andrew? Doesn't seem as if he's still with us. Folks, we're happy to bring you these breaking
Still
information.
here. I'm
Andrew,
still here.
you're still with us, Andrew.
I'm still here.
Have the workers concluded their protest? Was it a midday protest? How long are
Yes,
they
a mid.
out
It,
there?
it was a midday protest. They came out at lunch, at the lunch break, and have their say and make their statement. The police they're all out here as well to just watch and to observe and to ensure that they're not it's not an unruly crowd. That the crowd is organized and that they're doing you know what the law requires in the light of COVID-19 and all of that. But the protest was peaceful. It was very peaceful, and they have all gone back because it is now minutes to one. So the
Mhm.
staff, they've gone back to their work, and we're going to see what's going to happen in the coming days. If the management of GPL will address this matter, or they're just going to stay silent.
Right. All right.
Randy.
Thank you, Andrew, for your reporting out there at GPL. Um, do continue to let us know if any other developments before you leave. Folks, we want to take our leave now. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me just remind you what we were covering, of course. That breaking news, the protests outside of the GPL, the staffers are claiming that the director, Mr. Maurice Gajadar, has approved purchase of brand new Kia vehicles for the directors. And these vehicles are essentially purchased from a company that he is associated with. So this is something I'm wondering that if these investigators are keeping their eyes and the ears open from Guyol to GPL now, where persons are approving sales, you know, vehicles from companies that they are associated with. You know, the conflict of interest there is very ripe. But we'll continue to watch this. We'll continue to watch all of what is happening in Guyana. Folks, we want to thank you for being a part of this breaking news coverage here. Do enjoy the rest of the day. We'll see you at 5:30, if not before. See you at 5:30 with the afternoon rush. Do enjoy the rest of your day.